Welcome back to Mental Models Daily, where we explore one mental model each day to help you elevate your daily decision-making. Today, we're examining a powerful psychological force that influences our behavior in surprising ways: deprival-superreaction tendency. Deprival-superreaction tendency describes our tendency to react more strongly to losses or potential losses than to equivalent gains. We feel the pain of losing something we already have much more intensely than the pleasure of gaining something of equal value. This asymmetry in how we experience losses versus gains shapes our decisions in profound ways, often leading us to protect what we have rather than pursue new opportunities. It's like having an emotional security system that sounds a much louder alarm for break-ins than the pleasant chime it makes when valuable packages arrive. This concept has deep historical roots. In the 1600s, Native American tribes often responded with fierce resistance when European settlers encroached on their territories. While many factors contributed to these conflicts, anthropologists note that the prospect of losing ancestral lands, even when compensated with goods or alternative territories, triggered particularly intense reactions. These weren't just economic calculations, but profound psychological responses to potential loss. Similar patterns have appeared throughout history, whenever established groups face the prospect of losing rights, territories, or traditions. It's like a universal human programming that makes the threat of loss feel existentially significant. In today's business world, deprival-superreaction tendency influences consumer behavior and corporate strategy. Consider Calendly, the scheduling software company. When they redesigned their user interface in 2021, they initially removed several familiar features that longtime users had come to rely on. The company was shocked by the intensity of the negative feedback, far stronger than the positive responses they had received when originally adding those same features. Recognizing the deprival-superreaction tendency at work, Calendly quickly restored the removed functionality while still introducing their improvements. This experience shaped their approach to product development, adopting a more gradual evolution rather than disruptive changes that might trigger loss aversion. Their subsequent growth to over 10 million users demonstrates the business value of understanding this psychological principle. So how can we apply our understanding of deprival-superreaction tendency in our daily lives? Firstly, we can become more aware of how loss aversion might be influencing our decisions. When considering a change, whether it's switching careers, moving to a new city, or even trying a new restaurant instead of a favorite, notice if you're overweighting potential losses compared to potential gains. This awareness can help you make more balanced decisions. It's like calibrating a scale that naturally tips toward avoiding loss rather than seeking gain. Secondly, we can frame changes in ways that minimize the feeling of loss. When introducing new ideas to others, emphasize continuity with what they already value rather than what they might lose. For example, when suggesting a lifestyle change to a friend, focus on how the change preserves or enhances their core values rather than what they'd give up. It's like building a bridge from the familiar to the new, rather than asking people to take a leap. Lastly, we can strategically use this tendency to motivate ourselves and others. Research shows that framing goals in terms of avoiding losses, don't lose your daily workout streak, can be more motivating than equivalent gain-framed goals, add to your workout streak. In practice, this might mean creating commitment devices where you stand to lose something if you don't follow through. It's like harnessing the power of a rushing river rather than fighting against its current. In conclusion, deprival-superreaction tendency helps explain why changes that seem logical on paper often face emotional resistance in practice. By understanding this aspect of human psychology, we can design better personal strategies, more effective organizations, and more compassionate approaches to change management. In a world that requires constant adaptation, recognizing our innate resistance to loss can help us navigate transitions with greater wisdom and less unnecessary suffering. Thank you for joining me today on Mental Models Daily. Until next time, may your gains be appreciated, your losses be kept in perspective, and your decisions be shaped by awareness rather than unconscious reaction. For more mental models, please visit mentalmodelsdaily.com or find us on X or Instagram. Our podcast music was provided by thepodcasthost.com and Alitu the Podcast Maker. Find your own free podcast music over at thepodcasthost.com/free music.